This show is brought to you by Manscaped. Use the code AFTV for 20% off your order and free shipping at manscaped.com. Robbie here from AFTV. Time to get into the player ratings of the game. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2. I've got to say, it wasn't a great performance by Arsenal. I know there's a lot of mitigating circumstances, lots of players out, you know, even Chelsea with a great squad they got, if they were missing most of their key players like we were today, all right, I know Aubameyang came on in the second half, but effectively no Aubameyang, no Lacazette, no Partey, no Gabriel. Key players missing throughout the team. However, even with that, I just felt it was another poor performance by Arsenal, and Chelsea did deserve winners. Much better team, much, much better. And we are miles off at the moment. It's really sad to say that, but that's where we are right now. So let's get into the player ratings. I'm kicking off with Leno in goal. Do you know what? He had a good game. I thought he played all right. He made an unbelievable save from Lukaku. He made a couple of other decent saves in the game. And I thought, you can't fault him. He didn't really put a foot wrong. Couldn't do nothing about the 2 goals. Yeah, Leno, I think one of the very few players in the team that can possibly say, you know what, I had a decent game. I won my personal battles. I'll give Leno a 7 out of 10. Moving to the back 4 now. Let's start with Kieran Tierney on the left-hand side. I think he had a really disappointing game. I mean, missing in action on both goals on that left-hand side. Yes, he was trying to get forward, but you've also got to remember your defensive duties as well. There was a little time, to be fair to him, in the second half where we were down in the dumps. We were just, we couldn't even get possession of the ball. He showed real fighting spirit, won the ball, went on a great run, and that kind of lifted the crowd and lifted the team after that. So that showed about a bit of leadership qualities. But overall, he wouldn't be happy with his performance, and he limped off as well. Which again is another worrying sign, another injury to him. Below par though, I think, for Kieran Tierney. You'd have to give him a 4 out of 10. On the other side, Cedric as well, equally poor. Didn't think he had a great game. I mean, how many balls did he get into the box? How many times did he even get into the opposition half? I don't get sometimes why we even signed Cedric, and it's no disrespect to him. We had Ainsley Maitland-Niles there. We had Hector Bellerin. They were battling out for the place. And then we go and get a third right back. Then on top of that, we're still playing Callum Chambers over some of them. I don't know. But anyway, poor by him as well. Below par, 4 out of 10 for him as well. Pablo Mari, again, I know you're up against Lukaku. We all know how good Lukaku is. He cost 100,000. 100 million. 100,000. He cost 100 million for a reason. He's a brilliant striker, and you could see him. He was a real handful today. And Pablo Mari had a hard time. And again, not a great performance by him. Very average. 4 out of 10 for him as well. Rob Holden, I thought, was a bit better. He did okay. Should have scored, though. Should have scored. He had a free header. That could have made a difference in the game. Could have got us back into the game. He headed it wide. 5 out of 10 for Rob Holden. Again, tough afternoon having to look after Lukaku. But I felt that he dealt with him better than what Pablo Mari did. Granit Xhaka. Poor game. Poor game. Wasn't that great? What did he do in the game? What did he offer? All right, he's an experienced player. But what did he do? What pass? What? It's what a lot of people, when they look at Granit Xhaka and they say, why? And you see Basuma putting a performance like what he did for Brighton the other day. You look on it and said, that's why we needed to go out there and really buy a top quality holding midfield. All this thing about, he progresses the ball. What did he progress today? 4 out of 10 for Granit Xhaka. Albert Sambi Conga, I thought, was very good today. He was one of the shining lights for a youngster coming into a game like that. He's good in possession. He's strong, good passing range. I think this is a real good signing for the future. And I thought today, again, another player that can look at his performance and say, my personal battles, I did all right. So I'm going to give Sambi Lokonga, I'm going to give him a 7. Because he's so young, because he's making his Emirates debut, and because he did all right. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for that performance today. Emil Smith-Rowe tried to drive. I thought again, another player that maybe should have scored a goal as well. I thought he was a bit guilty of taking a bit too many touches, but wasn't his greatest performance. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Bakaya Saka, very quiet in the game as well. Got substituted. We know he's hardly had any pre-season, but he wasn't in the game really at all. Should have had a penalty, I felt, though. Should have had a penalty, but it wasn't his greatest game. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 as well. And then Pepe, Nicholas Pepe. What can I say? Again, he had one time in the first half, went on a good run, but basically he was completely shackled in the game, non-effective, and a poor performance in general. 4 out of 10 going out to Nicholas Pepe. And Martinelli as well. Not a great game by Martinelli. I mean, we've all been crying out for him to play. Feel a bit sorry for him. Again, no pre-season. He's had a long summer, been at the Olympics, has had no rest. It showed today. He looked tired at the end. He had no joy whatsoever in the game. 4 out of 10 for him as well. Moving to the substitutes who came on. Aubameyang came on. He was lively. You know what I mean? He did some chasing down and closing down, and he tried. But listen, we're 2-0 down. The game's done. There's not a lot he could have do after that. But just good to have him back. We're going to need him. 5 out of 10 for him. I'm trying to think who else came on. They were so non-effective. Tavares came on. Again, tried. Created a little bit of a spark, but too late for him to get into the game. 5 out of 10 for him. And who else came on? I'm trying to think, did we make another sub? Let me just check. If we did, listen, they didn't make much of an impact anyway. Going now to the manager. Got it all wrong today. Tactically outdone by Thomas Tuchel. When I saw the team and I saw that Tuchel was going with a 3 at the back, I was like, you know what? Perfect time for Mikel Arteta to revert back to a 3 at the back. Now, I know he's missing players. I know there's circumstances that you can point to and say, you know what? This player's missing, that player's missing. But why didn't he match up and go 3 at the back? We got horribly exposed down the wings throughout the game. It was easy for Chelsea. They were comfortable. And again, Mikel Arteta, I don't know what our style is. What is it? What do Arsenal do? What is our style? Can somebody in the comments please tell me what that is? Mikel Arteta, horribly wrong today. Just because there's mitigating circumstances and just because he's playing a great team in Chelsea, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10, or it would have been lower. But he has to improve. He's got to get more out of this team. At the moment, it's not good enough. And speaking to fans after the game, they weren't happy. A lot of fans saying that he's on borrowed time. He's got to start getting it right. Even though he's had a tough start to the season, no wins in 2 games. 0 out of 6, and we go to Man City next and West Brom. Fans today, brilliant. Great to see the fans back in the stadium. Loved the vibe in there. It was absolutely incredible atmosphere. Shame that we went 2-0 down, though. That just really sort of killed it. It's like someone sticking a pin into a bubble. It really burst it. But well done to the fans. I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10. It was great to see some old faces back there. And the referee today, I'm going to give the referee a 3 out of 10. He got the penalty decision wrong. I felt that was a penalty. And also, he gave everything to Chelsea. It's not that it made a difference. That's not why we lost the game. But I thought the refereeing was poor today. Really, really poor. It's a 3 out of 10 for him. So those are my player ratings. I don't know if you guys agree with that. Let me know in the comments below. Would love to know what your ratings are. But overall, it simply wasn't good enough. If we play like that against Man City, we'll get another beat down as well. And then where does Arteta go from there?